industry is when I first got into it, it just things that you think you know about financial services that I found out and realized that I really didn't know. So it's going to be interactive. You can ask all the questions. I have to fly out here a little later, but it's going to be interactive. I want you to leave here knowing more about financial services than when you came. That's what it's about. You know, it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. It's educational purpose, educating each other on how finances work, but sometimes you have to keep it simple for people to understand it. Sometimes people try to use big words and do all this different things, but I'm gonna make it very simple to where anybody, when they walk out of here today, will understand and know more than they did before they came. And I want you guys to think about, I'm just reading something right now. The percentages have actually went up. 60% of all NBA players go broke within 10 years of retirement. Now they make hundreds of millions of dollars. They got commercials. They got agents. So have you ever wondered, like, with the agents and accountings and all these things they may have, why do they go broke? Anybody know why? Like, why do they go? You have an agent.
Because they don't know what the accountant is doing.
Some people have Rich Paul. Some people have all these different players, depending on who you are, but they still go what? Broke. That's just basketball. You can Google right now. 75% of athletes. That's just basketball. It went up in the last 2 years of NBA players going broke. Baron Davis, I don't know if anybody remember Baron Davis. You gotta be older than Baron Davis. Mm-hmm. He's a friend of mine, went to Santa Monica. We grew up together. He told me in his first year, he made his first million. You know, you got that rookie contract, right, in basketball. So you're under that rookie contract. So at that time, I'm old, so not old, but I could go back a little bit. His teammates were like Jamal Mashburn and all these guys for the Charlotte, and they have like been in the NBA a while, right? So he said what happened with these agents, what they do is that they give you a house, they give you these cars, all these different things before you even sign your NBA contract. That's what they do. This is a setup. They give you all that stuff.
You're already in the hole.
You already, and they prey on people. They prey on people that's, you know, the poor. That's what they do. Because they say, okay, look at this mama. His mama's living here. They eating fried bologna sandwiches, grilled cheese sandwiches, all this stuff. I know for sure if I tell him, hey man, I'll put your mom in this house. I'll do this, I'll do that. And some of these athletes is barely eating sandwiches and barely getting by while people is making money off their jersey that they can't even make money off of when they coming out of college. They say, okay, I'll do it. They get the car, they get the bling, they get the house. They sign their first contract, and Baron Davis said, agent like, oh, that million mine. Like, wait a minute, it's gone. The house, I got your mama, that stuff I got there. So he said he was broke. His first million was gone within 10 minutes of signing the contract.
They mistake all those favors.
They mistake all those favors. There you go.
Yeah.
They mistake. Have anybody old enough to see the movie Moving with Richard Pryor? And he was like, just kidding. And my guy never said just kidding. And the guy going to the house and everything is gone. And he's like, hey man, I thought this house come with all fully furnished. Like, no, I said just kidding about this. I never said just kidding about that. They took everything from him, right? So that means that making money doesn't guarantee wealth. Who knows that? Right? Magic Johnson said that anybody, he spoke at one of our events, he said anybody can make some money. I'm trying to teach you how to what? Keep it. Who have made some money, tell the truth, and made some big mistakes? But like, oh man, or had that buyer's remorse. Like, I should have brought that. Right? Why did I buy that? Or why did I do that? It happens, right? So you have that buyer's remorse, you say, man, I shouldn't have made those decisions. Or some people say, well, if I knew then, what I know now, I would have made better what? Decisions, right? And sometimes we make bad decisions on who you do business with. Have anybody made a bad decision on that? Like, your friend got a plan, you get involved in that idea. Oh man, I got a plan for both of us to get wealthy, for both of us to do this, and you get involved, you're like, oh my God, I just wasted hundreds or thousands invested in that, right? So you have to understand, how do money work? How do money work? That's what we have to understand, because the 401k plans don't always work, because they go up and down according to what? The market. It's down right now. 2007, 2008, what happened? Everybody thought they had to figure it out? Boom! Why? Because back then, who remember when you can get 10%, 15%, 18% of CDs? Remember that? So you're getting all these money in CDs. Who knows where CDs is now? You're not even getting 1%. You ain't even getting 1% in a CD. Who know what you're getting in a savings account? Everybody say, oh, I put my money in the savings account. Who knows what you get? 0.5. 0.5%. That means that you have to, 0.2. I was wrong. Let me lower 0.2. That means if you have your money in a savings account in the bank right now, it takes 5 years to gain. Can you retire like that? No, you can't. So now people are like, well, what do I do? Right? So the key to success, man, that was the booty face. I didn't have no facial hair or nothing back then, man. but it's the key to success is gaining as much compound interest as I can without ever taking a what? Loss. Yeah. That's the key. If you get, when they say, well, Don, how'd you get Luda? I ask them one question. If you can get 60 to 70% of what the market does without ever taking a loss, would you be willing to listen? Okay. Who gonna say no to that, right? But the key is everybody want 100%. Everybody, then that's where you get greedy, right? It's like winning in Vegas, or if somebody ever plays the slot. You win, you're like, oh man, I'm just gonna keep going, right? Right? You win, you stop playing, you go do something else. But you want to keep going, and you wind up losing what you what? Gain. All of it. You want to lose all of it. So you have to, I want you guys to do simple math. Some people talks about gaining 3%. Oh, 3% is nothing. 4% is nothing. 5% is nothing. Well, you must not understand compound interest. Huh? Right. Because you have to understand how it works. If I gain 4% in year 1, and I gained another 4% in year 2, in 2 years my money grew what? 4% or 8%? 8%. In year 3 my money grew what? 12%. In year 4 my money grew what? 16%. In year 5 my money grew what? In 5 years in the bank, wait a minute. If I have my money building compound interest, gaining at least 4%, in 5 years, you mean to tell me I gained 20%? In the bank, if your money grew at 0.2%, in 5 years you gain what? 1. Golly. So what is the secret? It's to get up to 70% what the market does without taking what? A loss. So now you have to say, okay, where's the vehicles that I can do that? Anybody know? Outside of agents, who knows that there's a place where you can put money that can't be touched, can't be touched? There's only 3 places where you can put money and never pay taxes. Anybody know that? 3 places. Municipal bonds, Roth IRA, and life insurance. Right? But they don't tell us how these 3 places really work. See, when we think of life insurance, what's the first thing you think of? Death. You don't think about life, on what it can do for you about life. Because, when I was younger, I only got life insurance because my mom pressure me like, oh, you need to make sure you have some kind of what? Life insurance. But when you're in your 20s and 30s, like, you ain't even thinking about that, even though you got more youngsters dying than anything right now, right? But you don't think about, but you never thought about life insurance as what? Life. Never thought about that. So let me show you what I mean by that. When they talk to us about life insurance, most of us, all we know about is term and whole what? Life. That's all we know about. They don't teach us about the other vehicles where they put their money. Even the banks is putting their money in these vehicles I'm going to tell you about, but they not teaching us. So I'm like, wait a minute.
Banks and businesses.
Banks and business. So if they doing it, then how come we're not what? Doing it. Let me tell you why. Because Charles Schwab and Smith Barney is not going to the inner cities educating us on anything. They want to make sure you have at least $250,000 in assets before they even sit down with you, right? So if we don't educate each other on how finances work, who is? Nobody. We have to do it. We have to, because let me tell you, when we get that knowledge, when we're taught, when we know, there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we can't do. So what do they want to keep away from you? The what?
Knowledge.
The knowledge. You can have all the money you want to in the world. But if you don't have no knowledge, you're going to blow it. Or understanding on how it works. That's why you have these three vehicles right here. A lot of people know about, you have term, you have return to premium, you have whole life. But I want to focus on, flip it over to the other two. I want to focus on the ones that they don't talk about, the index and the universal. Especially the index. The index, because of what it does for families. Let me show you what I mean. If you die too soon, what you need? Death benefits. Because you're gone. Your family needs death benefits. If you become ill, you need what? Living benefits. See, they don't tell us about this stuff. They only talk to us about getting insurance on if we what? Die. But what if I'm alive and I become ill? Right? My mom had 2 strokes. But she was okay because I made sure her insurance policy had number 2, which is what? Living what? And as you get older, now you need what? Income. You're getting older. You're getting at that retirement age. I need some what? Income. Did you guys know that there's insurance policy to have all of it in one? Didn't know this. You mean tell me that I can have my retirement growing at 6 to 12%. 6 to 12.5. I didn't say 1%. I didn't say 2%. I said 6 to 12.5% a year. Remember I told you? Let's go back. Insurance can't be what? Taxed. So after 10 years, there's no surrender charges. I can pull my money out tax free. Come on. You're not teaching us. You're a business owner? You own your own business? You got to build your own what? Retirement. What's your name again?
Jabri.
Jabri. How old are you, Jabri?
46.
So we got Jabri that's 46. If you had a 401k, you can't touch it till you what? What's the age? 59 and what? That's 13 years. Right? 13 more years. Say right now Jabri has an IUL, an Index Universal Life Insurance, and what's your name?
Wayne.
Huh?
Wayne.
Wayne. And Wayne have a 401k. They both started at the same time. They just put them both in 46, right? And they like, oh, I got my 401k. The other one like, I'm starting my life insurance Index Universal Life policy. After 10 years, they're what? 50 what? 56. Because they started at what? 46. Right? God forbid something happened. They need to go in there to pull money out. They both have 10,000 in there. Who gonna be able to pull out more money? The one that have their money where? Why? Because after 10 years, there's no what? He's still under the surrender what? Charge. They're going to take about 40% of that, so he'll see about six grand instead of what? 10. They're not teaching us this. They're not teaching us this. They're not teaching us how it works. Why do I like the index universal, right? Coverage, it got coverage what? Adjustments. What I like about it, because that policy is overfunded and have cash in there, if you went like 4 or 5 months after your first year stuff and couldn't pay it, it'll pull from your cash and pay it what? For you if you got into a bond. If you have a term insurance, because there's no cash to pull from, then if you can't pay that policy, you what? Lapse. Go back to the other one. A lot of people say, what about whole life? Whole life bill cash, like the index bill cash. The difference is a whole life, there is no adjustable premiums. Meaning what you pay is what you're going to have to what? Pay. Because more of your money in an index go towards retirement as well. I had a friend, correctional officer, hurt his back. Couldn't work for 3 years. He had his policy for about 5 or 6. He said, Don, man, I had to let that policy lapse. I haven't been able to work. I hurt my back. So I said, let's call. So we call AIG. We call to see what we have to do to get his policy back active. And when we called, guess what? It was still active. He said it was 4 more months before it run out of cash. So it was still being paid. His family was still covered, okay, and everything. That's why I'm happy that somebody invited you here. This is not a sale pitch. This is to get you knowledge and understanding. It is up to us at least once a month to come together, bring more people, invite, teach each other, man. Because there's nobody going to teach. You know, if I would have known, if my mom would have known, you know, you have people that have them good corporate jobs and all that, but your job can let you go what? Anytime. Let me tell you, your job don't care about you like that. They care about that job. That insurance that you got on your job is nothing. Let me show you what's so cold about it. Your job is not even paying for it. Guess who's paying for it? You are. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I have 100 people, employees, let's start small. Some people got thousands, some people got tech companies like GM. How many employees they got, Fred?
Like 400,000.
400,000, right? 400,000. You can count on your hands the whole time you're there till you retire how many people have passed what?
Away.
Passed away. So let me tell you. So if I got 400,000 employees, who got a calculator? Who's good? Somebody calculate this for me on their phone. I have Fred do it. He can give me the numbers in a minute. If I have 4,000 employees, taking out $25, just say lowballing, $50 a month for your what? Life insurance. Why are you there? So you got 400,000 employees paying $50 a month times 12 times 35 years of you being on that job. And if you get injured and you got 100,000 worth of life insurance, did that job pay for that or the employees pay for that? Employees paying for it. So you got the employees paying for it, and on top of that, when they let you go,
They still got their money.
they still got that what? Oh my God. Still got that money, all of it. And then when you leave, they say, yeah, you can get life insurance, but we're going to offer you something called Cobra, and it's going to cost way too much money. Now you older, you left a job, and you don't have no what?
Life insurance.
We got to educate you. The job is to look out for the what? Job. How do I know? Because I sold group insurance to a job before. The cheapest, they don't care about what it come with. Whoever offered them the cheapest deal, that's who they gonna go with. Because their only job is to protect you while they what? There. None of us was expecting COVID. I thought thought when COVID happened, who remember Kobe Bryant died? It was like in February. Right after that, when March is when we start hearing about this what? COVID. All these people start being let what? Let go. And if you was a small business owner and having to establish your business over a few years, you folded, and it was a wrap. And you couldn't recuperate. Pastor McClendon was telling all his members, and California got a mega church. He said, if you have life insurance right now, you've been having it for a while, go in there and pull some money out so you'll be able to what? To live off of until you get back on your what? Feet. All we think about, September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. All we think about is death. We don't think about living. We don't think about it, our kids. We could put $25 away for their kids, $30, $40, $50 away a month, and at 65, they have more retirement, cash, and they life insurance than somebody that work a government job. Just by taking a look, even if they work at McDonald's, as long as they pay that little premium, their retirement is what? Set. More than ours. Just by knowing what to do with what? Money. And understanding how money works. But you know what's crazy? Everything to us is a scam, and we don't like to listen. Somebody can tell you, oh, you got a check waiting you right now. Tell them to put it in the post office. It's a scam. I don't believe that. Put it in the post office. I was one of the persons, I didn't believe nothing that you was telling me. You know who got the most questions? Broke people. I was broke and you couldn't tell me nothing. Oh, they ain't. Don't do that. That's a scam, or don't do that. There's nothing. How could insurance be a scam? Pull your ID out. It got your check. It got your date you was born, right? Is your checkout date on your ID? Heck no.
Right.
It's crazy because one thing that we guaranteed to need is what we don't invest in. We guaranteed to go. You're guaranteed to use your insurance policy. That's 100% gonna be used, right? And here's the thing. I see people, I knew some people in LA, flashy, chains on, rapping, doing all this stuff. Kid died, gotta go do a GoFundMe. What is going on, man? Take some of $1 million out of your neck. What are you doing?
That's what
You
AJ,
still?
That's what AJ Wright doing right now.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Played on Friday.
Yeah.
He been broke for a long time.
AJ Johnson.
His wife going to go.
AJ Johnson.
Hey,
I'm just telling my girl this. AJ Johnson lived around the corner from me in Compton. I know him, his mother, him, right around the corner. Right here. He grew up in Compton where I grew up at. Like my block is right here. He was the next block. Friday, all this stuff, like you said, doing GoFundMe.
For 20,000.
For 20,000. To try to help what? Pay for his funeral. Now, let me tell you, if he's doing that and he has kids, what situation is his kids left in? What happened to the money for Friday? What happened to all this stuff? Right? See, people get selfish and you don't think about the situation. If you're the breadwinner and something happened to the breadwinner, so you saying, well, my wife's just gonna have to be in that situation. My kids just gonna have to be in this situation. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I met a guy one time, and one thing that I don't do, I don't care what nobody think about me. Because you have to let people know the truth. It ain't cool to walk around not covered. But got on Jordans and this and all these different things, was standing a long line to get the new Jordans or the new video games. I don't know too much about video games, but Madden come out with the new 2K. I gotta have that. I gotta have that. Or my kids need that. I talked to somebody and she like, you know what? I was gonna get insurance on my kids. I saw this Coach purse. I had to get the Coach purse. Next month I get the insurance. Told to me last week. This ain't nothing new. Worst situation is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Me and my brother both went through this. It was very tough. We had, believe it or not, I wasn't always fat. I used to be a personal trainer, right? They was, so Nancy and Monica. Monica had a daughter named Nancy. And she was gonna be a track star at UCLA. She's a senior, she's on her way to UCLA, real good in track. And she used to come and I used to have her doing frog jumps, helping with her takeoff and all that stuff. And her mama didn't have no insurance on her. And I was like, Monica, man, you need to get insurance on this. She said, I will, Don. I will when we get back from Vegas. When we get back from Vegas. I'm like, you need to do it now. Her daughter was killed in a car accident. And I was tearing up. It hit me real hard because all I was thinking about, did I do enough to try to push her? And all Monica said, oh my God, I should have listened. I had to help bury her, come up. And I'm like, man, you guys, this is stuff that is very important. You have a family, you have a situation, so you can dictate your income. You can dictate your income. Me and Jesse, wait a minute. So people go there, right there. Speak up here. We just finished up with a client, right? And the client's 24. You know what he said? How much he say he want to have in retirement?
$3 million.
$3 million. I want $3 million. What did we do for him, Diana?
Gave him IUL.
Gave him what he wanted, right? He's going to have that because he said, you know what? And he's a bright young man, all this stuff. He know what he wants out of life. He makes good money, but he said, I know, but he's an entrepreneur. So what he saved is what he's going to what? Have, right? So you got to have your money working for you. So what's the secret? You can go back to the beginning. I want to recap. The secret is making sure you gain compound what? Anywhere between 4 and 12 what? Percent. Here's my thing. Don't be telling me what could happen. Because what could happen may not what happen. Oh, if the market do good, give me my 3% and up. You know what I mean? Forget all that. Because let me tell you about the illustration. It can be ran at anything. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I run the illustration for Tillman at 8%, and I run an illustration for you at 6, right? Which one gonna look like it have more money? Tillman's. Because it's at 8. But the truth of the matter, it can grow from 6 to what? 12 point what? 5. But somebody will run it higher just to try to show you a higher what? Illustration. But most of the ones I see that it's like at what? 5.7?
Yep.
At 5.7, they say let's give you this the lowest, right? Because it can always do what?
Go up.
Go up. Go up. So that's all it is when people run illustrations. So that is very important to be here. If your money growing 0 to 3%, it's not even making enough to outplace inflation. So at 65, you're still what? Working. The 10% is over here, got their money growing anywhere from 4 to what? 12%. Why? Because their money works for what? Them. So they all golfing and having fun. And let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you. If you're in your 30s, raise your hand. I'm jealous of you. Get out. Look at that. A lot of people in their 30s. All right, you guys have if you're in your 40s, right here, right? You still got, let me tell you what's crazy. Who knows what the retirement age is now?
67 or something.
72. They raised the retirement age up to 72. So even if you 50, you got 22 more what? Years. I had a friend that's a longshoreman, makes good money, right? He been there 35 years, but guess what his problem is? He only 59. And he got the years, invested in a company, but not the age. Who know why they push the age back? Let me show you how cold your job is. Why they push the age back? When I graduated from high school, it's 55. They say work till you're 55 and enjoy the rest of your what? Life. Then it went up to 62. Then it went up to 65. Then it went up to 67. Then it was, you know what they said? People are living too long.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? If your own job is saying people are living too long, what are they hoping? That you die. You die. Because they knew when we was 18, it don't look good if they say, you talk to an 18-year-old kid, graduate from high school, your future ready. Oh, done. You're going to get to work till you're 72. You're like, I don't like that plan, teacher.
Oh.
So they didn't tell them like that at all. That don't look good.
Right.
All right? They not going to tell you that.
Retirees don't produce anything. They just get paid.
That's it. And we don't understand that, and why you think. And they want hard labor, so, and you know my friend told me that the salon shop said, I don't think I can last 12 more years. They want to break you down and have you all broken up, right? And that's why they want you to expire before you
Retire.
retire. That's why they push you 72. And who have children? Raise your hand if you got kids. Think about this. If it's 72 for you, by the time they get 18, what's it gonna be? 150?
They never gonna retire. They not gonna
They're
be
not
able
gonna
to.
retire.
Exactly what you just said. What's your name?
Okay.
Kate.
I said they're never gonna retire.
There you go.
That's the idea.
There you go, Fred. That's what we gotta avoid. That's the idea. So it's up to us to do something now to prepare who? Them. For the future.
That's right.
Now you guys are here. So you can't leave here saying, I don't know. Because you're lying. You're be lying to the kid. Mama, do you know what we can do? Yeah, you know. Right? You know now. So it's your job to help teach what? That's all it is, man. It's educating other people on how finance works. And you know what? I know for sure, if it's 72 for me, it ain't gonna, my son ain't gonna have, he gonna have to what? Work till he what? Or set himself up now.
Right.
Now, your son, daughter, family. Man, when my mom had that stroke, I didn't want to talk to her on the phone. I'm real close to my mom, just her not being able to talk. It cheered me up every time. Then I'm at church. I was out here at the time at church with Donetta. Pastor come talk, Pastor Allen come talking to me. And how's your mom? She's having another stroke while he's talking to me. I get a text at church. But God recovered her from both of them.
Amen.
Amen to that. And she's
Amen
fine.
to that.
Right? God recovered, right? But it's being prepared. It's us being prepared. We can do anything that we put our mind to. We can have anything that we want. Me and Jesse pastor in Dallas, he said, you know what? I don't have as much money as a lot of people had. But I was smart with my money and I don't want for nothing. He has a ranch with like 12 acres and all that. And he didn't do that with a lot of money. He just knew what to do with his money. And sometimes we don't know. You know, you never know what you're coming to. You got people, oh, I wonder what's this going to be? Somebody going to be trying to sell me something? Or somebody going to be trying to force something? No. It's up to you what you do with the information. But you have to know, okay, what's one thing I need? I got to be in a vehicle that builds compound what? Interest. Who are the insurance companies protect? Who are the banks protected by? Insurance company protect the bank, right? So they tell you they giving you that 0.2%, and guess what they doing with the rest of your money?
Put in insurance.
Put in insurance. They making the money. Not just that. How did Walt Disney get started? Anybody know? IUL.
Yeah.
Through the money from they
McDonald's.
insurance company, McDonald's, that we go to. So this ain't nothing new. Why we haven't heard about this? Walt Disney started Disneyland from the IUL. McDonald's from the IUL, from the insurance. Walt Disney, they went to people, oh man, that ain't gonna work. You know, trying to get banks to invest in, oh, that ain't gonna work. They say, you know, wait a minute. We'll just take the money out of our insurance company. What them banks thinking now that they invest in Walt Disney? Can you imagine? Can you imagine, DeMarco? We get denied. That's the best denial you ever had in your life.
Man, that's a
because
fact.
you took your own money, tax-free, started Walt Disney, and who the proceeds go to?
You.
You cut the bank out.
You your own bank.
Your own bank. That's what I love. I love being my own what? Bank. I can look at it every month. Okay. And I can always add to it. You know when people, when it comes, you know, have you heard that term, pay yourself first?
Yeah.
That's what they talk about. That's what they mean. Put money away. Let me put a little bit over here, you know, every year. So let me dump a little more. Because let me show you the secret. If your insurance costs $100, I'm just hypothetically speaking, right? Everything extra you put in there is going towards what? Building what? Interest, because you're already paying for the cost of what? That's the secret of making a lot of money. Find out what your cost of insurance is and dump the rest. And it's okay, this cost of insurance, boom. Instead of, if I put, because what you need in a bank is your emergency money. You know what I mean? Just the money, your emergency 3 months worth, anything out of that. So what happened is, whatever you saving in the bank, cut that in half and say, let me put some of that somewhere where it can what? Build interest. Same thing. And I'm almost done. I have to collaborate the time a little bit, but I hope you guys are getting some of this knowledge. Another thing that you can do, if you have, say you left a job or got fired, just flat out, you know, you got fired, got let go, and you have an old 401k plan just sitting around, don't roll it over to your new company. Put it in annuity. So anybody have an old 401k plan, put it in annuity. Why is that? Because you want it to continue to what? Grow. And you want to grow what? Guaranteed grow.
And tax free.
And tax what?
Tax free.
So you tax deferred. So you want to put it in annuity. Now, when it comes to business owners, saving money for your family, doing all that, you put it in a what? IUL. IUL. If I had to have life insurance anyway, I want to come with everything. You mean tell me that I can have life insurance that comes with living benefits, and on that client that me and Jesse sat down with, if he had a chronic critical terminal illness rider, he get $26,000 a month while he's
Out of work.
$26,000 a month from his insurance policy.
I want to get sick on purpose.
You're on your own with that one. I don't want to get sick. I don't want nobody else to get sick. You know?
Right.
Somebody cough 10 times, go downstairs. We'll slide your food on. You'll get your chicken. You'll get it. Right. But it's just understanding how it works. The reason why they want you to roll over your 401k, say, oh, you can just send it to your new company so they can continue to what? Use it. And they invest the money. Here's another thing. It's volatile. So it can be 40,000, it can go down, it can go up. Tell me that little example real quick of what happened.
No, I had a plan. I was sticking my money in the 401k, and with my daughter, time for her to go to college, pull the money out, do a loan, and go and pay for college. Well, it's time for her to start college, and she decided to go to Chicago. She didn't have any grants or any loans or anything like that. She decided to go to Chicago. It was about $40,000-$50,000 a year. Well, I was okay. We all right. We got some 401k money. But that was right. That was 2007. In 2008, she was going to college. Anybody know what happened in 2008?
Market crash.
Yeah.
Market crash. So the money that was in the 401k, so it was just dropping, and we barely, people said, well, keep, no, you can't. So I moved whatever little money was left, but lost over $200,000 in that account. And the funny thing is, when it comes down to doing your taxes, the government would tell you, I'm sorry, you lost $200,000. You can't write that off anywhere. Because the government will say, well, we never considered you, we never taxed the money in the first place, so we didn't recognize the money. So since we didn't recognize it, since you lost it, we're not going to recognize your loss either.
We still owe taxes on $200,000.
Come on.
It is, you know, it's something, you guys. But knowledge is what? Power.
Power.
You know, and they try to keep knowledge away from you. You know, that's why it's up to us to go to the inner cities and talk and just have a conversation. You know, I wanted this to be a real heart-to-heart conversation on what could we do different, not to just help yourself, but to be able to go out and help what? Other people, you know, out the same situation. So the purpose of this, you know, you may say, hey, you know, I need my stuff looked over. We here to do that, or say, you know what, I have interest. I got to make sure me and my family is straight. You may be there. You may say, you know what, Don, I love what you guys do. Not only do I want to make sure me and my family is straight, I want an opportunity to be able to join you guys in business and help others. I don't know if you guys know, what is the #1 paying field in the world right now? Insurance is. Ain't worked for nobody since 2013. I love it, right? What are we doing? We helping people. We educating people. So you can get a license, and we have license coordinator. We help you do that. And all you do, and Fred loves to say this all the time, just by having an insurance license. So you had an insurance license and you wanted me to go talk to Mr. Jones, right? You don't even have to be the one to talk to him. Or you want Fred, or you want Tim to go talk to him. You at your other job, or you at home making money just because you got a license. Come on, you don't even have to. You can say, you know what? People don't understand what having a license. Jeff, at work, he an IT guy, getting comma checks from insurance while he at work. Not sitting down with him.
I ain't do nothing.
Got us. Diana, raise your hand. Diana back there. Fred,
Thank you,
Jim.
Diana.
Got other people up. DeMarco, license. He be at work, right? So what it is, what do I do? Because everybody always say, oh, I'm straight. No, you're not. Because if I say I got $5,000 right now, who don't want it? You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna say, I'm straight already. Go ahead and give it to somebody else, right? They ain't gonna say that. They're gonna give it to me. You're gonna already have in your mind what you're gonna do with it, right? So what I'm saying is that it's ways. Of course, when it comes to helping people, when you have people coming together, man, and say, you know what, man, I can't help people. You mean tell me that I could be at home, do an online course while I'm at home? Give Robert a hand for the last person to get his license. Robert's ready. Give Robert a license. You know what? I can truly help people, man. Or I can be lazy. I don't have to be the one to help them. I can let somebody else go help them and not being lazy to make money. Because one time I'm gonna tell you what happened. One time I was. Remember when Cleveland, y'all should know, y'all from out here. I'm a LeBron James fan. Some of y'all may not like him no more. But when they played the Golden State Warriors, remember that when they won? Oh, I was happy. I had 2 appointments, right? I'm like, George, can you do those appointments for me? Because I'm watching this game. LeBron them gonna come back for me want to beat these dudes, right? He go do the appointments. He helped the families. He said, Don, I'm like, what? How'd you like to know you just made $21,000 sitting at home? I'm like, oh my God, I like this, right? Go LeBron, right? Go LeBron, right? What am I saying is that when you look out there and you see this whole world, you see this land of opportunity, everybody got 24 hours in the same day. Why do some people make it and some people what? Don't. It's your mindset. You have to see it. You know, I see myself, man. They said, Babe Ruth said it's hard to be somebody that don't give up. You know, if every time you knock somebody down and you keep jumping back up, you're like, man, I keep knocking this person down, but he keep getting up. You know, when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, his mama had just died, and he just said, I told my mama I'm not gonna stay down. Mike ain't taking him serious, ain't turning around. He don't know this dude just lost his mama. This dude is serious, and you in there playing, and you got knocked out. Why? Because in that moment, he wanted it more than Mike Tyson did. At that time, Mike Tyson took him as a joke. Why I'm saying that? Because life will take you as a joke until you get serious about what you want out of life. So you have your children, you have this, if there's somebody here to say, you know what, I would like for my stuff to be looked over. You know, I would like to talk. I would like to meet either face to face or through Zoom, and I would like to see what I can do to help change my life. If that's you, raise your hand. Amen. Give them a hand for that, right? That's almost everybody in here. So what I would like to do, I want you to have my number. I'm close to all. If you ain't one of the person that talk, hop on the airplane, don't call me. Or you gotta talk to my secretary. Or you gotta no. You know, hey man, we all have one goal. You know, we all want to do what's best for our family. I'm a man of faith. We have a good praying team, and everybody that invited you here, I have a close relationship, and I love them as my brothers and sisters. So it's up to us to make that change, and to help. I'm gonna be around for about 30 more minutes. You guys make sure you eat your food, and if you are a guest, Jeff guest or Marco guest, Tim, whoever it is, I want to make sure that your guests have my contact, I have theirs, and I will call, everybody raise their hand, will get a call from me within the next couple of days so we can see what we can do to help you go forward further. Fair enough? Thank you guys for coming. Enjoy your food.
Thanks, Don.